it comes down now to the GST administration and how complex it actually is going to be on the ground. I don't know, are your officers still wearing black bands, or have they removed the black bands now, sir?
It's unfair to ask.
Okay. That was just a little bit of fun I was having with you, but yes.
Yeah. There were concerns expressed by some of our officers on the manner in which the administrative division was done. But those are issues which were raised, which were discussed, debated and settled. The CBEC and its officers are committed to the successful implementation of the GST. And I can assure you that each one of our officers, it is, like Mr. Gupta here, who are working night and day along with teams of officers from the states to finalize the laws and its legislation. So yes, there are concerns. They have been addressed.
Concerns have been addressed. The matter, according to Mr. Shah, is settled. But on the ground, what do you foresee as being the big challenges?
The center and the states have to work together. Today, both work in silos. And in fact, that is required also today, because what happens in excise doesn't affect VAT and vice versa. But in GST, if something happens in CGST, it has equal effect in SGST also. So the council has already said, like Chairman Sir has said, that there would be division of work and then single interface to ensure that the taxpayer doesn't face two authorities. All those things have been settled. So one has to work together. That is the biggest challenge. And before that, the rules and the rate that we have been discussing right from beginning. So having done the law, now the rules, 5 rules are already in public domain, as you are aware. Remaining important rules we'll try to bring out as quickly as possible, then rates, and then we are all set.
We're all set.
Yes.
Are we all set, sir, as far as administration is concerned, Mr. Lakshmi Kumar? And what do you foresee as being the big challenges when it comes to assessees? Mr. Gupta here saying that we'll ensure that the same person doesn't have to face two authorities or two tax assessees. But, what do you foresee as being the problems on the ground?
I wish what he says is correct. But what I see from newspapers reports is about up to the 1.5 crore turnover, the division is 90-10.
Yeah.
90 the state and 10 the center.
Right.
And with regard to the above 1.5, it is 50-50. That's what I hear. This is the compromise which the center and the state have realized. Now let us take the case of a manufacturer who has got turnover, say, 1,500 crores. They have got 4 states in which he is operating. And this 50-50 done by lottery or by how, I do not know. And then if it is so, and if person, the manufacturing unit in state A, see the center, and the state B is the state, and state 4 is union territory, and last one is again center. And I do not know in what method by which this will be reconciled. If there is a system in the lottery, that if a person got into center, he must all units will go to center, etc. Unless they do like this, there will be a possibility, quite good, distinct possibility of assessee facing 2 different officers. But they can answer saying that even today they are facing 2 officers, excise fellows and also they what is the great thing? They can say that. So whether you want to face 2 or 20 is a different matter. But the lottery system or the method of allocation, how it is going to happen, etc., I am not clear about it.
Okay. Can you shed some light, sir, both Mr. Gupta and you, Mr. Shah, on how this 50-50 split is actually going to work on the ground? It's not by lottery, is it?
It should not be by lottery, obviously. It would be by stratified sampling. It will be software driven, etc., etc. The points mentioned by Mr. Lakshmi Kumar will be kept in mind, and our aim will be, to the extent possible, to ensure that SFC has administration only to deal with across states, if that is going to be possible. There may be some aberrations. I do not know as of now. There may be some aberrations. But remember, Even if he's dealing with two separate administrations in two different states, in that particular state he'll be dealing with one administration, which is the key point really. So that's how it is all going to be. Let us, again, these are issues which will be worked out a little later.
Why can't we have a single cadre for tax administrators, both center and the state, and then have one single administration to viewer? Like when Europe abolished the custom barriers between the countries, there was excess staff of custom officers. They became jobless, but they've been deputed for the VAT work, etc. Why can't we, at least not now, at least 5 years down the line, can we think of indirect tax or GST tax administrators as a cadre, merge center and the state together, then these disputes, etc. will go away. And then the assessors also can have one person to deal with it.
Mr. Shah?
That's a thought which is on the table. It will mean creating a cadre of an all India service. It has challenges there, but it's a thought which is on the table and under consideration.
The issue is that there are states are running several industrial incentive schemes parallelly, like the central schemes. Now, is there a discussion in the GST Council, or there's going to be a white paper on how the states will proceed after the GST with regard to that? And what would be the larger implication of the anti-profiteering where units are operating in states with incentives?
Sir.
This issue had come up for discussion in council, and it has come actually in newspapers also, that in the GST regime, the area-based incentives has no place, because we have to have uniformity throughout the country. So the tax rate, the procedure, etc. is going to be uniform. What council has said is that the center, all the state government, if they want to continue to give these incentives, they can give on their own through the budgetary route, but not through the GST. As far as second point which you have said about anti-profiteering, anti-profiteering is a provision, is an enabling provision to have this, that whatever benefits industry is getting because of reduction or elimination of cascading, or because of the reduction in the tax rates, broadly industry should pass on that benefit. So with that aim, this clause is there.
You know, the problem with an enabling provision, sir, is that most people fear that that it will be used by the government to go after them, and anti-profiteering has scared industry significantly.
No, I'll not say that, but there is a provision, there is no doubt, but then that will also give the industry food for thought that we must pass on the benefit. Now, if it is not passed on, then we'll see what is to be done.
If it's not passed on, then we'll see. Those are not words that you want to hear from the government. Yes, sir.
I think in industries move to these remote areas, economically backward states and all those things, on the promise of the exemptions continue for about 10 years or so. And if what I heard earlier was that these exemptions were grandfathered under the GST regime. But what I hear from Mr. Gupta is that, look, no grandfather, no father, no grandson, etc. As far as the GST is concerned, it is going to levy. It is now left to the state governments to give them, etc.
Yeah.
This is worrying me.
Area-based exemptions are exemptions where governments have committed for a certain period of time, and these may well be treated differently from the normal exemptions. How they will be treated is what we are discussing now: grandfathering, subsidy, budgetary route, all options put together perhaps. But those are things, again, the council will finalize when we go towards the rates.
Sir, I am D.D. Goyal from Maruti Suzuki. I want to make a request on rate which is contrary to what being discussed. With this assurance, the total tax burden would not significantly change. Our request would be announce the rate as close as implementation date so the retail sale does not get affected. One more request, sir. On the time of supply of goods, I understand the law says advance receipt or supply, whichever is earlier. It has a lot of practical issues. It will create what of ease of doing business, lot of fragmentation. So if law cannot be amended, treat that advance and charge a single rate like IGST in advance, other than forcing us to allocate to the different rates and different states.
Are you going to seriously take his consideration on board that it will literally be 24 hours before the 1st of July that we'll get to hear about the rates, sir?
No, I hope it will be much earlier. I mean,
and you won't say anything more than that. But you know, this business of what actually happens in the transitory phase once you actually arrive at your rate classification before the 1st of July, Has enough thought been put into that, sir, as far as the transition is concerned? Specifically, if the rates were to differ. I mean, he's giving the Maruti example. The assumption is that small cars will be taxed at 28% or whatever the case may be. So if there is a difference in the current rate from the GST rate for a particular product, what happens in the transitory phase?
There may well be some differences. I do not know. That will get finalized again closer towards the date. But the transition provisions are there in place. We have tried to take care of this credit issues in the transitionary provisions, which we are in the model law and the law which is likely to come out soon. So we have addressed these concerns.
Okay. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I am Payal from PepsiCo. This is a question for Mr. Shah around the tax rates. See, currently how the tax rates are drafted in the excise and VAT are diametrically opposite. Well, excise is more on the HSN-based classifications. The VAT rates across the states are quite disproportionate. They are more on the state being taxing particular commodity. Just some thoughts around how you're trying to harmonize that under the GST perspective. How you want to bring all that together so that at least some people who are already enjoying exemption under excise and VAT and vice versa do not get affected.
The rates when they get finalized will take into consideration the fact of you getting an exemption either in the VAT regime or in the central regime, number one. Please remember also VAT exemptions are not uniform across states.
That's right. So how are we harmonizing that?
That is really the challenge. I mean, if it's all that easy, we would have had the rates by now.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, the HSN classification will be something we'll try to be bringing in so that uniformity of classification at least will not be a problem at all.
Right.
Right? And that's something we are working on getting these classifications also approved.
Here's wishing you the very best of luck from all of us here at Tax Sutra and CNBC TV 18, Mr. Lakshmi Kumar and Mr. Mathur. Thank you very much for taking us through what you believe will be the crucial areas that require clarification from the government. Thank you very much for your time, sir. Appreciate it.